The Toy Story franchise gains an expansion by giving Buzz Lightyear a prequel movie, but it's not the Buzz Lightyear we know. It's the real Buzz Lightyear that the toy's based off. Yeah, I don't know why. Your guess is as good as why they really made this movie. Hey everyone, Joe here from the Collection Company, and welcome to another unboxing for you. Today we have Disney and Pixar's Lightyear, the 26th film by Pixar, and the first one theatrically released since Onward, technically, but reality, the real last full run was Toy Story 4. So it's been a while since we got a full Pixar movie that had a full theatrical run in theaters since 2019. Okay, look, I said there's a lot during the Turning Red review. I won't get too much into the repeating zone, but I'm still very miffed that it was Lightyear that was the first one they decided to bring back into theaters and not Turning Red, even though we were kind of returning back to normal by March. I still understood why the business decision was to have a Disney Plus release only, but now having gone back after 3.5 movies released exclusively on Disney Plus, the box office return, it seemed like it was not the best call, in my opinion. I think there was more people like me that was a little bit more divisive over their decisions in the recent years, and hopefully when we come back next year with Elemental, they will have much more of a better reputation as we go back into original IPs again. Because in terms of Lightyear, which is Toy Story adjacent, it is not Toy Story 5, it is not, there's no spoiler, there's no Tim Allen cameo, there's nothing about it. The only real thing is the opening title card, which is the only connection between the two. Besides that, this is its own unique thing. We'll get to more of the review part in a second, but in terms of the whole media cover, once again, it comes to personal taste. I think the DVD cover, which is also the Blu-ray cover, is the superior cover over the Steelbook. And I'll get to more of that in a second. But in terms of just the whole media cover, I think it's serviceable for the movie it is. It's fine. I don't know what I was really expecting at the end of the day. I think the DVD was the best one of them, and then the Steelbook is like, well, I'll get to more of that. But until then, let's get into it. First up, we have the DVD, which, traditional DVD fare, DVD logo on top, the poster, and the logo for the movie. I branched out there. Again, I did not see Lightyear in theaters, so I have no idea if this is actually the official poster. It kind of does, so I'm just going to say it is the official poster. But I do really like this, Buzz is front and center. Sock, which honestly is the breakout character of the movie. Then you have the supporting cast of characters played by Keke Palmer, Taika Waititi, and I forgot who the other one is voiced by. But they're all cool. Again, this is a really solid voice cast. It just, well, you know already. Poster-wise, just in general with a poster design, it looks alright. It's not the best poster I've ever seen in the world, but it's not the worst. And also, yes, Team Sock forever. Of course. Side profile, we got Lightyear, and of course, Sock is the character icon for the side of the and the back. You get one bonus feature. It is just the director's commentary. An absolute winner is the only review, and you have Buzz rushing in with Sock. Again, this is all about Sock. Like, if we're gonna get a spin-off for Lightyear, we need a Sock movie. Like, that needs to happen at some general point. And inside we have the disc, some paper material, and the disc and the DVD, which is the female protagonist. I don't remember the name. I apologize. She is the DVD cover, and ironically, they have individual ones for the other disc, which I'll show you in a second, for the Steelbook. But in terms of the DVD, I think okay, it looks okay. For DVD go, it's not bad. It's not the worst I've ever seen. Again, Disney reuses stuff all the time, so in terms of just reusing the poster itself, it was alright. It serves what the movie is. Next up, we have the Steelbook, which, look, I think this is going to be the first time I'm saying this. I believe I mentioned this earlier in the Doctor Strange 2 unboxing. I believe Disney and Pixar Disney has a problem with just reusing the original teaser poster and just calling that the Steelbook cover. For me, like, look, for the teaser poster, okay, I'll get to more about the movie in a bit, but like I know they were trying to be mysterious, like, what is Buzz Lightyear? Who is this take on Buzz Lightyear? And in reality, the Steelbook, like, it's not that cool. It's not. Like, I'm not impressed by it. It was like, oh, really? That's the Steelbook? I mean, alright, I'll take it, I guess. Like, I really don't have much of a choice. And I don't know, I wasn't really impressed by this. Like, Disney Steelbooks has not been great. Even the MCU stuff, like, I think Spider-Man was the only one that I actually really liked, and that was by Sony, which, that hurts me to say. Side profile, you just have the regular spine. And on the back, you have just the usual, the 4K is only just the movie, and then the Blu-ray has some special features. Not a lot, but, actually just some. included. And removing the J card, you have the I guess the launching rocket, the launching bay that Buzz uses in the movie to launch off his rocket. And inside you have the other disc, which you have Zurg on the 4K, and then you have, well, you can't see it here because I don't know why this, it's always very iffy to move. You have, actually I could just do this. You have Buzz and Sock on the Blu-ray, and removing the paper cover, you have Buzz and Sock blasting off before the real events of the movies kick off. And again, I love Sock. I just love that face of Sock. Sock is just the cutest cat in the world. We need a live-action Sock that actually worked. We need it. Make it Disney. You have all the money, so make it. I dare you. Because I always dare you. Here's the specs with It's Just George here. Because with this information, you can go to infinity and beyond. Had to use a new backdrop because the current Steelbook wall is, that area is kind of, it's crowded by stuff, so I apologize if this is like kind of a weird backdrop for Steelbooks, DVD. But anywho, going into it, I watched Lightyear on Disney Plus, not in theaters, because to be honest with you, I was still miffed about the whole turning right situation that they gave. I understand it as a financial sense, Lightyear being a spin-off of the Toy Story franchise that was kind of more primed to be the more successful one of the two between Turning Red and Lightyear. For me, I felt like you could have released both in theaters. You had the money, Disney, as well as, you just... Lightyear ended up being a bomb, and the thing about it is that the movie was... It was okay. At the end of the day, it was not great. I feel like you gotta, first of all, you gotta separate. It's not Toy Story 5. This isn't a Toy Story spin-off. There is very rarely, if not ever, a Toy Story reference. The only thing is, like, at the beginning of the movie, you get to see that in 1996, Andy got to see a movie, which was this movie that inspired him to get Buzz Lightyear, which kickstarted the entire events of the franchise. I do understand that. I do get that as the point, but this is not a Toy Story spin-off. It's not, so you can't really treat it as a Toy Story film, but to consider it as a Lightyear film and just treating it as a film in its own right. I can say, like, in recent years, this was just one of the most Pixar movies I've ever seen. I feel like the last time I said about a Pixar movie, and this is just personal preference. If you love Lightyear, that's great to you. If you hated Lightyear, okay, that's also great for you. The last time I felt like a movie was for me from Pixar was probably Cars 2, and that was like a long time ago. I know there's The Good Dinosaur. I haven't seen that yet, but no, for me the last one was Cars 2, and that was a long while ago. I feel like every Pixar movie, I've enjoyed it a lot. I'm not to say I didn't enjoy this one. I definitely felt like there were some strong parts to this movie, but there was just too many moment. There never was like that exciting fact. This was supposed to be an action adventure movie. It didn't really ever get to the hypes of like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, they made this Lightyear callback or that Lightyear call. They never really did, in my opinion. They never really. I know there was a moment towards the end where like you're supposed to be like superbly excited. It's like, oh my god, he did this thing that was a reference to this thing. It was like, okay, cool. It never got you going at the end of the day. It never really did. And I feel like, yeah, the whole premise of like, it's just about the morality and just, your sense of duty and, just the guilt of things. I understand the lessons and the messages this film was trying to achieve. I just never found it to be communicated. In my opinion, I never thought once. And it was a little all over the place a little bit, like how they kind of like had to kickstart the premise a little bit. It definitely felt like a little bit one of the more confusing Pixar movies. And this was, again, for me, it was a little confusing. And I'm an adult here. This is meant for kids. So I completely get that. Understand, like, I'm not the target demographic here. But a lot of audience members, like, especially myself, we love Pixar as a kid. And we always appreciate, they always try to do something different, something unique. They always have a message to produce. Turning Red, struggles of puberty, changing, growing up, becoming who you were to what you're meant to be. Luca finding a sense of purpose, finding a sense of destiny, finding a sense of, placement. Where do you belong? Onward, just showcasing the love between brothers and just how family is always a little bit different depending on who you ask. Even Soul with the message of destiny and like, what are you meant to do in your life and just trusting the process. Like every single Pixar movie, I think since for a long time has always had some sort of message. Lightyear didn't really have sort of that. It really didn't. For me personally, you could have really, you didn't really need Lightyear in my opinion. I feel like you could have given like the next movie is called Elemental. Like you could have easily just given them the slot. I know like, animation wise it takes a while, but like oh, they could have just said Turning Red's the only movie for 2022 for Pixar, and I'm like that is totally fine. That would have been a really great way to like end it off, but or just have like just this is Pixar's only thing for the year and that's it. Lightyear it doesn't really suit me. Now again, talk about the positives here again. I'm not trying to hate on the movie. I'm just trying to say it just didn't reach what Pixar standards are. And again, it's kind of murky to what Pixar standards are because like ever since Cars came out, it's like okay, the hit or miss, it's been a hit or miss sometimes. That it kind of became prestige to like great most of the time. I feel like it's like that. And this is one of those projects where it just felt like it kind of belonged in like it's good, but it's not great. But the voice cast is incredible. I think the one consistent thing like I can say about every single movie is that they've always had a great voice cast. It's always the right actor playing the role. And yes, you could say like, oh no, Tim Allen's my Buzz Lightyear. Don't get me wrong, I love Tim Allen so much. He was part of my childhood. I'm not trying to disrespect that. One of my really good friends, she argued with me like, no, Tim Allen is Buzz Lightyear. Yes, Tim Allen is the toy Buzz Lightyear. You gotta think about it like this, like when Toy Story as us viewing it, like when we got the actual toys, those are not the real actors portraying the characters again. Ironically, it's for Woody, Tom Hanks voices the character in the movie, but for us as toys, the voice in the voice box, that's his brother, Jim Hanks. So it's like, okay, you don't expect them to get the actual person to come back for the voice for the toy. Sometimes they do. It's very rare, but sometimes they do. This is just one of the random cases where like they just don't. Like Tim Allen, whoever voiced Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story universe and the toy form, that's our Buzz that we grew up with. I understand that. And also at the end of the day, the voice of Buzz from Toy Story is meant to reflect the Toy Story story. This is Lightyear. This is completely different. So Chris Evans did his own take on the character. He did respect what Tim Allen has performed, but he was trying to do his own thing. And as much as I love Chris Evans, I really do. I think he's a great guy. He definitely tried to do his own like take on the character. Like it still felt like Buzz Lightyear in terms of like what his core message was, but he was also trying to tell a different side of things, like tell a little bit more emotion. That I don't think the Buzz in the Toy Story movies was really ever really consistent on, in my opinion. So I'll give the movie over that. But the animation, beautiful as always. Like, another thing about consistency about Pixar, that the animation is always getting better. It's always superbly visually beautiful. Like, the amount of detail they put onto this. And it's just, it's great. It's perfect. It's perfect animation as always. Like, I never not get satisfied with just watching what Pixar's able to do. Even though the style changes a little bit, you could just notice the detail. You can notice, like, the crafts. Yeah, I could say that if you're a video game fan as well, like Pixar is the Naughty Dog for animation in the film spirit. Like that's definitely I think a worthy comparison I can make on that front. But in terms of everything else, like besides the animation, besides the voice cast, like the story didn't really do it for me. The pacing didn't really do it for me. It kind of just felt a little predictable at times. Never got me excited. Never did. And definitely I felt like I made the right choice not to go see this in theater. Now, of course, you're going to ask me, why did I buy the DVD and why did I buy the Steelbook? You're going to obviously ask me that question. And my answer to you on that is that because I have a collection addiction and I need to. I have all the Pixar movies on DVD. I have to buy this. I have most of the Steelbooks in my collection. I have to buy that. Because here's the thing that everyone needs to understand. If you don't buy it now, you're going to spend up paying more money for it down the road. I've taken some losses as well for not starting on certain collections down the road. Some of my Funko Pops even here is in the same realm. As much as I don't like, as much as Lightyear is not one of my favorites on Pixar's rankings in my personal opinion, I still enjoyed it. It still was a lot of fun, and I have no problem having it be on my shelf or on my wall, regardless of where it puts. That's all I'm saying. For me, in terms of my recommendation, Lightyear as a movie, if you have Disney Plus, yeah, go for it. It's a fun 92-hour picture. It's not a waste of time. It just, you won't be as impressed by it than previous Pixar works. And if you're a collection guy, it depends. Like, the DVD I think has the best cover. of the Steelbook in my opinion. I feel like the Steelbook's kind of was a little lazy. But if you are searching for the high quality, of course, go for the Steelbook. You're gonna get the 4K and the Blu-ray. So there you go. So let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Lightyear as a movie? Are you gonna pick up these home media, including the Blu-ray or the 4K regular? Let me know down below. Let's have a conversation down there. I always love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your stories. I love to always hear them. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So thank you so much for watching our Lightyear unboxing here on the Collection Compass. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube to see more amazing videos, such as our Gundam video, such as our Amiibo video, other Steelbook unboxings we do, such as for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We're about to do Thor: Love and Thunder in a couple weeks. We're always got cool stuff on the way. We always have cool stuff coming, so please go check it out. As always, thank you. Your support means the world to us. So please like, favorite, share. If you haven't yet, please also ring the bell. And also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates. But until we see each other again, Space Rangers, thank you so much for watching the unboxing. And until I see you again, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.